Pavel said to him, "Well, a bonsai pot is really a container for a plant." So the man made containers which are rather round with very rugged and rough surfaces as an artist, but he did not know that this is not the way a bonsai pot was designed. So he came to my place. Pavel, no, the story goes like that. And then they tried to sell these in Poland, to offer these to Polish bonsaists. And they thought that this is a joke. I mean, you're not going to try to offer this to us. I mean, this is shit. I mean, you don't use that. Okay, so Pavel, for some reason, found me and offered this to me. And of course, I'm all in for that. Okay, come on, bring these. Okay, so he brought about 30 of these, and I used them right away. Much to the shock of my surrounding, I used them, and then I said, okay, now we have all these round pots, but I have too many round pots. You know, I mean, can you not make a flat one or something that looks like a rock or something? And so he came 6 months later with the next batch. Okay, and when this batch was lying down on my grass in front of my house, my wife was looking down, and she said to me, "What's this? What's this garbage doing in our garden? Where does this come from?" I said, "Well, the Polish guys, they bring this all the way from Poland. What the hell are they going to do with it? Did you pay money for that?" And she was really honest. And I said, "Well, I think this is art and I'm going to use it. I'm going to sell this." "Who is going to buy that?" Okay. Well, by now I've sold about 25 of these. I'm running out of them, so I'm asking for the next batch. And I tried combinations. And I have several trees, especially cascading trees. For this, what he does at the moment, cascading trees do very well in this, okay? Especially wild-looking, very violent sort of trees look very good in these violent pots. That's my feeling. So I had a few combinations, and I must admit personally, I thought this is brilliant. Wow! The pots are brilliant, some trees are not so bad, but now together with the pots, wow! Really, they knocked me off my socks. And I made photographs, tried to make very good photographs, and I felt, honestly, wow, I have to show this in order to help this poor artist so that other people see how good his pots are. So I show these pots, the combination, on the internet. And then, very much to my own shock, I mean, I was really innocent thinking that people would say, "Oh, this is cool." Maybe some would not like it, but in general, I knew they must like it because it's brilliant. Oh no! Oh no! They thought it is the end of the world. It's as bad taste as it possibly could be, and then this started. So this really shocked me almost. But then I knew, why is this so shocking to them? Obviously, they think that I'm trying to shock. They actually said that, "Walter, you are doing this in order to shock us, in order so that your name is being mentioned, and this is a trick that artists use. Now you have made a good career in bonsai. You don't need to do that." And I said, "No, I do it because I love them." And then they said, like, "Well, you must be all getting very old and insane. I mean, how can somebody love something as ugly as that? Have you never heard about proportions, harmony?" So they taught me art. And then they went so far to say that several times, clearly and precisely, how can a man with such bad taste and such bad manners, such an arrogant person, doing tree critiques all over Europe in big bonsai shows? I mean, it's like, that should really be known to the world that I am not the kind of person who is able to do that. So this is what's going on here with this. And I just sit there and said, "Can you believe it?" You know, if they had said, "Walter, thank you for trying something and showing these, but this is not my taste. I really, I would not do that." So that's okay. That happens all the time in art. Okay? But to then say that the world is going under and that somebody has a very bad character, that is not possible. You know, and this tells me that they don't treat it like an art. So contrary to public opinion, I'm much in art circles, and I speak with artists, and I grew up in an artistic family. All lunatics, all people who fight each other. And I know that artists sit together like we do here and have beer and drinks, and one does realistic and one does abstract, and the next one does outright ugly and beautiful, the next one does kitsch in order to sell, and they're all artists. And I can say to him, I would rather have my hand hacked off than doing what you are doing, and the other way around. But we like each other and we drink a beer because we have much more in common as artists versus the rest of the world. In bonsai it's a bit like that, but in this, especially Mateusz Grobelny pot war, it is not like this. Okay, and I would rather wish it to that. Anyway. Then they show examples and other threads about how their traditional things. Now, it would be very cheap for me to jump in there and tell them what I thought of that. Well, I think it's okay, but it's not art. Okay, and that would start another war. Okay, just for your information, because you're not reading the internet, you don't know what's going on in the real world.
Thank you for my education this weekend or this week. And,
maybe you can comment something.
And my comment, well, as Walter's talking, I'm thinking about applications in America, in the United States, and what has supposedly created talk like this and questions if it's art versus something else that they can't even put a name to. And one thing that happened is a few years back, a man named Ron Lang, he's a very good ceramic artist, and he came up with an idea to get friends trees, friends bonsai, and people who do ceramic that do not do bonsai or even understand bonsai, and put the two together. And so each ceramist style was applied to the tree that they chose. So they chose trees, and some of them had buildings. Some of the ceramics became beds, and the tree was put in this ceramic bed that was created. One was this woman's torso, and the tree was being creation, and the tree came out of the woman's torso and was created from life, from a woman. So the buildings, there was the very flat, layered, geometric design building with a tree coming out of that. And is this bonsai? Okay, that's a big question, but it was trees that were in traditional bonsai pots, taken out of the pot, put into something very abstract, very artistic. And do they work together? Well, some did, some don't. And some people liked, some people did not like. And it was the first time and first attempt to bring another art form, even though it's ceramic art form, into a whole different application with a live tree. And what is bonsai? Well, we can say arguably it's a Japanese word. Tree and pot, simple translation, tree and pot, but of course it goes way beyond just that translation. And so this, I thought, was fantastic, and a lot of people that saw the exhibit and everything with this this said, don't ever do that again. It's wrong. It's going against everything that we know about bonsai. And then there was others saying, and myself included, saying, Ron, when are you going to do this again? This was wonderful. And so I'm looking for other containers, forms of containers. And my son just graduated from an art school, and he's a glass blower. And Max, my son Max, and I are working on glass containers for bonsai. And so we are working with different shapes and colors, of course, bright colors, dull colors, very abstract shapes that glass can only be produced with, not even ceramic in a sense, and finishes and textures of glass. And so I'm hoping someday to introduce a whole series of glass bonsai containers.